And we should be streaming right now to both YouTube and Twitch. First time ever on Twitch. Yup, I got an email. Jeff says that we're streaming on YouTube. We're doing a San Diego Supercross review. We got a couple of points we wanted to touch on about the race last night. Jeff, what up?
What's up, Clint? How you doing?
Pretty good. Living in mansion in Benzes, giving ends to my friends, and I feel stupendous.
Yeah, that's more money, more problems.
Ain't that the truth?
It is. I like those problems though. I'd take those problems.
I know, right? I want more money problems.
Yeah, like money doesn't buy happiness. But have you ever seen somebody really mad on a jet ski?
No.
Me neither.
Or it buys dirt bikes too.
This is true.
It's as close to happiness as you can get until it's unhappiness.
Yeah, moto's definitely that love hate relationship, right?
I tell people that all the time. I'm like, dude, it's so good until it's not any good anymore. And it's
It's like
usually where you feel your best. You're like, I can do any smash.
yeah,
It's the end of it.
it's like the best bipolar chick you ever dated.
So good until it's not.
Yeah, that's awful.
All right, so what do we got on the agenda today? Oh yeah, I gotta get my
So
stopwatch up here.
So the first talking point that I think we should discuss is, we'll take it back earlier in the week from this weekend, and we got to talk about Barsha Davalos. Um, give me what's your take on it?
Well, we already know Barsha's a hothead, and I didn't see any more than Davalos getting up into him
Hmm.
in the one corner. I don't know if it happened multiple times or not, but we all know how that goes with Barsha, so I don't know why anybody is really surprised by this. And then he kind of cut over on him on that jump, so I don't know. I'm not a he didn't even dive bomb him with his front wheel. He just kind of kicked out his back wheel into his front wheel. So I'd say typical bar shot. I'm not really. It is what it is. These guys do this all the time, and especially him.
Um, I agree with you. Barsha's definitely the guy you don't want to be playing no reindeer games with. Um, Davalos is, had his points in time in history as well. However, I think in that scenario, when you're coming off a jump like that and you cut over that hard, now I don't know if his line threw him that far over, but if you see like how far he went from the middle of the track or right side of the track, far left side of the track, um, yeah, I mean that's you're gonna piss somebody off doing that. Super dangerous. I honestly thought Barca's retaliation. I mean, it was probably the nicest of takeouts that he could have potentially done. So I see no harm in what Barsha did, and we got to be careful of stuff like that in the future, though.
Yeah, there were three reasons I would like wheelie out of my rut to take you to the hay bales. And one, cutting over on me on a super fast straightaway. Two, wheeling out of a rut and crossing like three other ones just to get in front of me. And three, if you cross jump me on a jump,
Yeah,
where basically once on the face and stuff, you're not going to do anything. So if they jump over on you, you know, that's kind of worst case scenario. So those three instances, the next corner that I had a chance to get inside of you, I was getting inside of you.
I couldn't agree more. I feel absolutely the same way. Um, I don't think maybe Davos didn't do it on purpose, but he definitely deserved what would happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. What else you
Um,
got?
so right now we have a super stacked 450 class. How many guys do you think when we come down to the last round? How many guys do you think the championship will come down to?
Uh,
Um, Go ahead.
I think the three guys you're looking at right now that are in it, which would be um, Roxon, Tomac, and Webb. I think that Roxon, you could see even on his bad night, he's not that far out. I do, unfortunately, I kind of see him maybe falling off the pace here. Maybe the fitness or whatever the health issue was is coming back. I'm not really sure. And maybe it is just he didn't feel it or something, which they like to say all the time. But I don't know. Like I've been saying, Webb he started out the beginning of the year like so, right? He didn't win, but he still was probably fourth or better every single race, right? He didn't. I
Yep.
don't think he finished anywhere past that, which is was his mo last year, and now he's starting to win races again. So I think everybody's in serious trouble. Tomac is the fastest on occasion, but I'm still not convinced that mentally he's over that.
Give me your top three for the series ends.
Uh, as much as I don't want this, I think it's Webb, Roxon, Tomac, Barsha.
One, one, two, three, four.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
I'm iffy on Barsha, but he is hanging in there.
so I think you're gonna see a two dog race. I think you're gonna start to see. I think you're gonna start to see Tomac and Webb start to distance themselves. I don't know what's going on with Kenny. I think there's something you're starting to see. Like he had trouble moving through the pack yesterday. Same thing with Tomac. Tomac did move a little bit further ahead because Tomac was originally behind Roxon.
Yeah, but he
Um,
only got one extra guy.
yeah, but I mean, still he was behind him, so he got Kenny and he got that one extra guy. Um, I don't know. I just think you're going to start to see Tomac and Webb start to separate themselves from what I'm seeing, and it's them two running for the title. I think Kenny will be about 20 points out come Vegas or the last round.
Oh, you're getting specific now. 20 points out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
You
far
don't
enough.
think that Tomac is going to have any more whoopsie daisies that the rest of the whole season?
Um, he will, but I see him going on a run. He's going to get a run somewhere in here where he's gonna rip off a couple in a row.
That's a good possibility.
Yeah, he hasn't had it yet, and he's due. Um, okay, let's talk about um Dylan Ferrandis. Does Dylan Ferrandis have this in the bag? 4 rounds left.
I mean, I
Um,
don't think you can ever say you got it in the. Go ahead, finish what you were
yeah.
saying.
Um, I, I think he does. Like, I think he's the composure of last year of winning that title. I think really helped him understand how to manage it and how to get there. I think outdoors kind of frustrated him with not having it there. I think he's doing the things right now. I think he's in. I think he's in Faulkner's head. Cooper's far enough, kind of, I think, removed from it that he's kind of there too. I think Ferrandis, not in the bag, but I think Ferrandis is your champion after this season. I don't think they're going to beat him.
Yeah, I mean, and the reason that I say that it's not necessarily in the bag is just because we know how this game goes. So, I mean, it could even be like practice during the week or some shit, and friggin' who the hell knows, you know what I mean? So that's the only reason I would say that it's not in the bag. Other than that, he's definitely the guy right now. So that is what it is. He's definitely stomping everybody. And if you remember last year, and I think I don't, it may have been you that brought this up to me because I had forgotten about it. But last year when they did the East-West shootout, Ferrandez and Adam just wasted Faulkner.
Yeah,
Remember how much faster they were going last year? So
yeah,
um, I don't know. I mean, I think it's to be expected. I think that's which this may be your next question. I think that's some of what's wrong with Faulkner is that whole scenario, and now he's got on an ego trip trying to be like, "Yo, I'm the guy. I can beat him," but he doesn't. He doesn't have it. instead of being trying to be a bulldog, he needs to be a little bit craftier, like a Frenchman, to beat this guy. You know?
His interview, his press post race press
Yeah.
conference interview was actually pretty telling. Where it was actually the first time he actually gave like kind of props and not made an excuse of saying like, "Hey, this happened or this happened." He actually gave props to Dylan, just like, "Hey, he's had the speed last week and he had the speed this week." So
But he did make a bunch of comments that were like back and forth, where like I got the speed, you know what I mean? Like he
yep,
needs to back off on the ego trip a little bit and just
yep,
be like a little more of, listen, he was faster than me today, and he needs to realize that on the track because that's what's getting him into trouble.
I agree.
And
Um,
don't argue with me.
don't you, don't you look at me in that tone of voice. Um, my next talking point: Dylan Ferrandis getting booed. Is it too far? Is this too much? I'm I'm gonna start and saying, listen, this guy doesn't deserve it. We like aggressive racing. We love Bob Hanna, Rick Johnson, Johnny O'Mara, Jeff Matasevich and Damon Bradshaw. Like this is the racing we love. Francis is a badass. You know what I'm saying? He's picking his spots. He's taking his spots. Um, to me, it's not super dirty racing. I mean, we've seen Chad Reed pretty much go backwards in Atlanta. I think in '06 or whatever year it was and take out Chad Reed or Chad take out James Stewart to win a race. I think Veranda's getting way too much crap. Lay off the guy. Super talented. Respect him because I think we're too hard on some of these Frenchmen just because they're so good. I think we need to lay off.
I think that we dislike their accent or something. Think about if it was, well, let's put it this way, Barsha, right? Known for dude's friggin' nickname is Bam Bam. Okay? But he's
Yeah,
American. We love him. We
yeah,
love it. We're like, hell yeah, take him out. You know?
America.
Yeah, if Dylan was American, dude, everybody'd be on his balls. But it's just the issue of he's a French dude, and, like everybody's not racist, but they have a issue with French people.
Why is it because the French riders are like strategically always been like our competition?
It's
I
because
mean,
we
really,
had to save their ass in World War II.
I thought
That's
they
the
quit. Did
reason.
they quit?
I don't know. I just hear that all the time.
But they gave us French fries. We should love them.
And baguettes.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that like the French have always been the ones. Like you look at Mikel Pichon, you look at Stefan Riccata, you look at Porcel, Jean Michel Bale. Like all of your foreigners that have came over here and been successful, most of the time have been French riders. So maybe we're just always got out for them, but I don't know. I love watching the guy ride. I've always loved all the French riders. I just think that their style's sick. Um, and I don't know. They need to lay off of them.
I've not been, dude. All it is it's a nationalist type of thing. I don't know if you can say that and not mean white supremacist or something, but it's like what do you want to call it? A
Let's just turn it into
patriotic type of issue.
mindset.
That's the only thing it can be. Like, what else is? We have a thing with French people. A lot of people don't like French people. That's it. Like, we can pretend like that's not what it is, but that's 100% what it is. Even Australians, and we like certain countries and we don't like other countries. And right now, Ferrandez is eating shit because he happens to be from one of the countries that we're not really that fond of as a country.
And he's winning our series.
But
This
that's
is
my
our
point. If
sport.
Roxon was winning right now,
But we love Roxon.
exactly,
We
that's
love
the whole
Roxon.
point. That's my point.
And Kenny's from Germany. I mean, think of the Holocaust.
Yeah, but we didn't have to save them in World War II.
No, he took him out.
Maybe that's we're fine with it because we feel superior.
Um, that's all the talking points I have on those rounds specific. The only other thing I want to talk about is James Stewart is making a thing back into the sport of moto. We saw a little while back Brian Deegan, and this will kind of go over to a little bit of freestyle because obviously Brian Deegan, we know who he is. He had a James Stewart had a ride day a while back at his house and was talking about his itch to get back in the sport. Which there was an interview probably a year ago. James was just saying like how much like he just doesn't want to be around the sport at all, and that conversation with Brian Deegan talks about he's got the itch to ride and that stuff again. In your perfect world, how would we like to see James Stewart back in the sport aside from racing? Let's just take him coming back and going 24-0 this year in outdoors off the table.
Not gonna happen at this point anyway.
No, I mean he's a little chunker anyways. Um, what would be your best utilization of James Stewart for our sport right now?
Well, obviously he's only gonna do what's beneficial monetarily. I would imagine, but you know what would be super sick if he raced the 125 Dream races and just
That
held that fucking thing taped
that would be
like
pretty sick.
like once upon a time.
Yeah, back in the day, bring out the 259 and everything.
Who's a gnarlier 125 rider than James Stewart was? Nobody. Nobody.
No, no,
I mean, Carmichael was a bad dude, but he wasn't
he wasn't
doing the
James.
shit that James was doing. Like, there's
He,
nobody that made a 125 sing like James did.
I mean, James Stewart's the fastest man ever to ride a dirt bike. Can we all agree on that?
Especially and now, well, now especially the era of 125s is over, so there will never be a king of 125s over.
I think anything 125, 250, 450. I think James Stewart is hands down the fastest man to ever ride a dirt bike, ever. All eras, everything. I don't think there's anybody beating him when James Stewart's on.
Right, we're
Um,
taking peak.
my perfect utilization. Yeah, I'm saying peak. Nobody's peak to peak. James Stewart is the tallest. He's Mount Everest of moto. Um, my perfect utilization. I think getting him into more of a commentary role, getting him at the races, doing that stuff, and some kind of advocate for the sport. I really think the sport needs some kind of, and I know it's been talked about a lot, unionization. I think James Stewart could be a really key person to get your, Ricky Carmichael's, Jeff Emmig's, Jeremy McGrath's, him, especially with this drug stuff we're seeing and that stuff going on. I think that him putting together a group of riders, especially Chad Reed, going to be retired soon. I'd love to see him come in and really be a person for the riders and become an advocate for the riders. I think James Stewart doing more commentary and become an advocate for the riders and really, I that's what I'd love to see.
Awesome. Well, that would be good. Um, I'm sure it looks like he's got something figured out, and like you said, the with being James Stewart, I'm sure that you know what I mean. Everybody's eager to work with him, so hopefully it would be cool to see him in the booth too. He's obviously got a ton of knowledge as well.
Yeah,
Um, whether or not Feld wants to pay his price tag, we'll see.
I think one thing that needs to happen
What are
once,
seven sales looking like? What's our chances of getting him back? Do they sell? If it doesn't sell any good, we got a good chance.
I think they're selling good. I mean, I see their
Damn
gear a lot
it!
of places. Um,
Damn it,
I'd like
Jeff!
I'd love to see a race companion going back and watching old races. Um, Chad Reed, Ricky Carmichael, James Stewart. Sit them down. Like remember the old Terra Firma video?
Oh, I
They had
thought you meant
Ricky.
us watching him.
No, them three going over and giving commentary on those races
And be
and
like,
hearing
dude, I
like,
was gonna fucking hack you
yeah,
off right here.
yes. I would pay for them. I'd pay for each episode if you just went through like the 3 or 4 years of them three just going at it. I think people would pay for that shit.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But again, the price tag on the three of them together is gonna be Genor.
Pay per view, bro. Come on, every moto nut out there would buy that shit.
Well, over a certain age.
I think some of them are still relevant. Chad's still running around. People know James Stewart.
And Ricky's on TV.
Yeah, so no, I
May
think
work.
that they're all very much still relevant.
Might work. Listen, for us old heads, how about some Carmichael or some McGrath? Get McGrath and Emig in the booth.
What McGregor just talks about, he schooled them all the time.
They can be. That's true.
I
They'll
mean,
be like, Jeremy will be like, "This is the weekend I won and banged your girlfriend."
after shotgun and beers all weekend.
Yeah.
No, it's I don't know, I think that was the golden era of motocross. I think them three was just they changed the sport for so many reasons, you know.
How cool was it? I was just thinking of this with the James Stewart question. How cool is it that we got to see Stewart and Carmichael battle in real life,
Oh
like
yeah,
for a couple of years?
yeah.
Like you knew it was just gonna be fucking fight till the end if they got out together. Both of them were just animals.
What do you think would have happened if Ricky Carmichael and Ryan Villapoto at the same time?
Oh, they'd have been smashing each other too.
They would have been. Do you
But
think Ricky?
that's just too much red hair.
Dude, that is
Like that's
that
why it's
is.
never happened. There's never
Yeah.
been two really fast redheads at the exact same time
No. Why? Why is that?
because they all the power goes to one.
Okay, is why Trey Kennard never really had a shot.
There was always Villapoto was the first redhead. He was taking too much power.
Gotcha. That sucks for Kennard. He
It
should change
does.
his hair color.
He needed to be a little bit after. Like right now, he could be
Killing it.
destroying everybody.
Killing it. There's not a redhead out there right now, is there?
Not that I can think of. That's that. No.
No.
We need to research amateurs. Let's start researching amateurs and try and find out the next
Who
redhead.
the next great redhead?
Is it? Oh, Evan Ferry.
Evan Ferry. He's actually just starting to blow up. He's actually doing some really good stuff. He switched to Husqvarna and he's actually become a little more dominant. He was like a second, third, fourth place kid, and now after he switched to his Husqvarna ride, he's coming on. Kid looks
Look,
good.
he's the next redhead.
Potentially, potentially is.
Right? Well, how old is he? He's just about turned pro, like in the next year or so.
Um, no, 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 no.
He's
I think he's like
15.
13.
No,
No,
is he? Oh,
yeah, I think he's like 13,
okay.
13, 4, maybe even 12.
No.
Um, yeah,
I met
I
him at Spider MX.
did you?
Yeah, when we were filming my
I
what
he won he was in the 12 to 15 class at
means he could be
Loretta's this
15.
past year. I don't think he's driving.
Are you your internet stalking a 15-year-old right now? How do you feel?
I,
You
I am.
fucking creep.
It's a Moto 15 though, so I mean I feel like it's okay.
It's like a 30-year-old regular guy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean he's a Moto kid, so I mean I don't think it even matters. Um, yeah, I don't even know anything.
Anyway,
Then
next couple of years. So my point is that it's
he's
right
he's
in
a
the
redhead.
correct window for him to really start for his redhead powers to develop.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Carmichael had the
It's
redhead.
gotta start soon though. I mean, you gotta have that. You gotta have that power in amateurs, right? Like it's gotta.
I mean, you don't have to. Did Villapoto? He didn't win everything. Alessi beat him.
Unless he beat him.
Carmichael's the only one redhead that come from square one. That dude always won. Think about that. That guy's entire life since he was on 60s, he won. Do you
Yeah,
know? Do you realize that Carmichael's professional race win percentage is like 86%?
that's insane.
His whole pro career, he won like 86% of the races. And I guarantee you most of the ones he didn't win was that first year and a half it took him to figure out.
What's Dungy's has got to be pretty good.
I feel like Villapoto's too. Villapoto won every single series like 2 or 3 times in a row and then just bailed. Like Villapoto was only racing professionally for like 6 or 7 years. It's something ridiculously short.
He won 4 Supercross titles, and he only won like one outdoor title though.
Who? Villapoto?
Yeah, like one, maybe two. But I think it was only one.
Come on. Look on your
Possibly.
Oogle later.
Uh,
Googleation.
I put Ryan Villapoto titles, and it almost said titties.
Ryan Villapoto titties. Maybe now that he drinks all that Bud Light.
I think it's Coors Light.
Didn't he have a?
I'm
Oh no.
part of 10 series titles in all.
Yes.
Pulling it up. 450 Supercross. Wait, is this motocross? 1, 2, 3, 4 motocross titles, and or Supercross titles. I'm sorry. Doesn't have XX championships. Doesn't have it. It doesn't have. Oh wait. It doesn't have his motocross wins.
Come on.
World Supercross championships. Yeah, he's got 4 Supercross. It's not showing motocross though.
What kind of shit website are you on?
Wikipedia. It's always the
Yeah,
truth.
exactly. We could just go on there and plug in whatever number we want.
Have you ever done that?
No, I
Me
have
neither.
other things to do.
Um, he won a motocross title in 2013, and 2011. He won 2 motocross titles.
Yeah, and 4 Supercross titles, and lights titles or whatever the hell you want to call it. He
Yeah,
was
he's got 10 total titles. 10 total titles. That's
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he has 4 small bike titles, which I
yeah.
think is probably at least 1 outdoor title, maybe 2, and
Uh
then 1 or 2 Supercross.
2 Supercross. Yeah, I think maybe 2
Yeah,
Supercross, 2
because you can
motocross.
only win the championship, the lights championship in Supercross twice.
Yeah,
So he had to have won outdoor twice too.
for lights.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm talking big bikes.
I know. So you said he won 2 of those.
Yeah,
So that's my point. And like I said, I think he only was pro like 6 or 7 years. So there's only a 1 or 2 years he didn't win a title.
I'm only seeing him for 1 lights title in Supercross.
But then he won the outdoors 3 years.
He must have won outdoors 3 years, which makes sense. 07, 08, 09.
So I would say that dude's credentials is.
I don't think he beats Ricky Carmichael though.
I don't know,
Hence,
man. When he
hence the
was
GOAT.
on, you think that, and he had to race Stewart. This is another podcast. We need to like either cut this off
Yeah,
or like
we're in the weeds.
crop it and then. But I
Yeah.
mean, this is a good debate to have. Who is the top like 5 motocross supercross guys ever? You know, I think
Yeah,
that's a good debate. Maybe we should do that sometime this week.
we should. Down. But San Diego, um, it
Whale's
was good.
vagina.
It wasn't what Chad Reed was hoping for.
He made it straight in out of the heat race.
He did, but then he DNF'd.
What do you mean? He had to ride one less race and then he had a beer in his hand before the anybody even finished.
This is true. This is true. I'm sure his sponsors are pumped about him having
That's
an early beer.
sounds like a it sounds like a win-win to me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely a win for him.
All right, well we're gonna shut this stream down. We had last time I checked, we had 7 views on Twitch. Pe-
Sick.
People are just
Thanks,
like, "What the fuck is this?"
thanks everybody for checking us out. Letting us go back and forth. Um, like, comment, subscribe, and or tell us stuff you want us to talk shit about.
And I'm gonna figure out the cell phone deal here within the next. I'll have it for Wednesday. All right, that's gonna be a top priority, so people can call in. We're gonna do the Canvas call in. Brought to you by Canvas MX. You can call in and talk to whoever our guest is. So
Canvas MX, is that the company that you can get all custom gear?
that's right. You can get my face on your gear if you want it.
That would be so cool. They're doing some big things. I really see Canvas Gear doing a lot of cool things. I'm glad somebody finally did it. Um, to me, if I was gonna buy Moto Gear today, I would definitely go get a fully custom kit of Canvas MX.
And let me tell you, the stuff fits good. Like it's not baggy or anything. It
Yeah.
used to be kind of baggy, but
Yep.
the sleeves fit good and everything now. And the pants, the last pants were good. They just come out with a new set that's apparently very thin and very flexible and feels good. So also boysen.com. Go there, buy yourself whatever. If you got an old carbureted 4-stroke, they got the quick shot, gets rid of that bog. And if you got 2-stroke, get the reeds. And
It
also, last but not least, Stroker MX. Not Stroker MX. Stroker Industries. I'm getting Canvas and Stroker mixed up. Stroker Industries, you can get one of those cool push button gas nozzles so that you can just flip your gas tank over and push the button. And you don't have the hose like flop when you try to pull it out.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
and then it flings the gas everywhere and
burn your nuts.
you could burn your nuts.
Yeah, gas in your pee hole's never good.
No, no.
Um, Boysen's been around forever. I mean, let's talk about a family with heritage and been around the sport forever. I mean, they've seen so much revolution in the sport, and they're still at the pinnacle, at the very, very top when it comes to cutting edge stuff that they're doing. Um, I think everybody has had to have something Boysen on their bike at one point in time, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, what case covers are cooler than Boysen ones?
Nobody. I mean, you get a Boysen case cover, and you're pretty much people know you're legit.
They know it. Yeah, if you want to talk about moto and like they're one of the original motocross based companies. Period. What else
Yep.
was around then?
Yep.
Boysen, Pro Circuit, FMF maybe, not Pro Circuit. Yeah, he was around. FMF,
Yep.
DG, like
I don't feel they get the recognition that they deserve because they're Northeast. You know what I'm saying? They're
yeah.
in PA. You know what I'm saying? Like if they were in California, you know what I'm saying? All the bros would be about them. But they kind of fly under the radar. They kill it. But you know,
They deliver parts by buggy, by
yeah,
Amish buggy.
yeah. Which I mean, what's more environmental friendly than that?
They don't actually. I suggested they should though.
Oh, that'd be cool. I thought they might. Sure, they ship to you though, right? They'll ship to your house.
Yeah, but it'd take a long time with buggy.
Yeah, so they'd use UPS, FedEx, whatever.
I'm
But
gonna go out there this summer and I'm gonna find an Amish person. I'm gonna pay him to pull up and we're gonna load some stuff in there for a video.
that'd be sick. Yeah, definitely check out Boysen and Stroker Industries. Yeah, support the brands that support us. The companies that we bring on this to do things. You got to think about it like they're all made by racers for racers. Canvas MX made as a gear company made for racers and riders by racers and riders.
Do you
Boysen
want to
does
know
it.
how Canvas MX started?
How did it
Michael
start?
Lieb was doing getting sponsors for individual Supercross events.
Okay.
So he would get local people to sponsor him. And he started working with Radical Racing. which is a gear company out of Argentina. I actually rode for them myself. I had sublimation printed gear like before a lot of people did. He started working with them, and then they started doing one-off gear graphics and gear per weekend with whichever the title sponsor was. So
That'd be
that's
cool.
literally how that started, and then Chuck joined him and became a partner in it. But it was literally Mike being innovative and changing up how sponsorship is done.
That's freaking cool. I mean, just from a marketing idea to a company, um, and really, I mean, there's no better way to market yourself and market companies you want to represent than custom gear like that. They put together a full look from
I'm gonna grab
pants.
my jersey. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Yeah, no, they definitely put together a full look of pants, jersey, gloves that I mean looks incredible. The technology where stuff's coming with printing is ridiculous these days. So the quality of stuff that Canvas is able to put out, I've always loved custom stuff that you can get. I think everybody kind of does. Whenever you can have something that's made for you, how do you not take pride in that? Canvas Canvas MX is really crushing it with their gear. And
Who
if you
else
don't
has
have
got
none,
Who else has got comedy stuff on their jersey? Nobody.
nobody, nobody. Um, again, reason why people should go out and support them. Nothing wrong with these big brands out there. There's a lot of big brands that have been making millions and millions of dollars, but I'm all about supporting the companies who are still trying to get there. You know, and Canvas MX is one of those, and I think that people should be jumping on that bandwagon and maybe getting your mom and dad on there, get mom and dad's face. Mom
Yeah,
and dad's
thanks, mom and
sponsors for
dad.
most amateur riders.
Thanks,
Thanks,
mom and
mom and
dad.
dad.
You could have it right on your jersey.
Yeah,
All right.
everybody.
Even though I'm really excited that we're streaming to two services at this time, we've just been talking about bullshit now.
It has been bullshit, but I want to give our sponsors some plugs because I think they deserve it. They support us, we support them, and it's definitely appreciated.
Yeah, man. All right, everybody. Leave any comments, anything you think you disagree, you want to call us assholes. Go ahead, leave it in the comments. We enjoy
Please
it.
do. Yeah.
Peace out. See
Thank you very
you.
much. See ya.
Podcast this week. More reviews next weekend. Later.